geeked for this. Okay, so to catch you up on the Hoosiers / Ohio State, the Hoosiers were set to get the ball to start the second half down 1 touchdown. I thought it was set up perfectly for them to come back, but I got a really bad feeling because they started promoting Michigan versus Ohio State like crazy next week. And I'm like, oh, fuck. There's no way that game's going to be a dud. And that's not really what I would consider a bounce-back game for Ohio State, the defending national champs, whereas our Indiana Hoosiers, they're just going against Purdue. So I'm like, man, I don't think it is in for the Hoosiers. And I was like, as much as it's kind of a waste to put both Hoosiers championships back-to-back, well, when you steal them, that's what you deserve, right? So that makes perfect sense to coach. And Ohio State ended Indiana's seemingly magical run. And most importantly, coach was not resting at all. He was at work, decided he's still going to put in the time elsewhere while helping customers. He's looking up every single sports book known to man. Happened to run across in the football section 1968, the year that saved Ohio State football. It is already purchased, on its way. So coach will be devouring that book the second it comes through, because we need all that information as soon as possible. There was a lot of other books I wanted to get as well. I made a long list of all the ones that I had, right? But also, look how interesting this is. Look how much was going on in 1968, the year that broke politics. That sounds like some Trump shit, right? And we know we're in a 68 year from 57. Now, 1968, the year everything fell apart. Okay? They made a program, documentary, 1 season. 1968, the year that changed America. Okay, 1968, the year that rocked the world. Okay, it wasn't just America. Rocked the whole fucking world, apparently. Okay? Now, all the books that I still want that I had to put on the back burner and cannot afford because I just blew all that money on one Ohio State book. I was going to be able to get pretty much any 2 of these I wanted, but I felt so bad about blowing Ohio State versus Indian. Coach went out and dropped it for you, right? And made sure we're not missing that one. Okay, so I want to still get the 1993 Phillies and Baseball's Unwritten Code. What? What else we got here? Still want to get the Wax Pack on the Open Road in Search of Baseball's Afterlife. What the fuck? Okay. Baseball's First Indian, the story of Penobscot legend Louis Sockalexis. I've already covered Louis Sockalexis a little bit on this channel. He was a very famous Indians player. Tragedy. Baseball in the Garden of Eden, the secret history of the early game. I think they actually were playing baseball in the Garden of Eden. What do you think? Right? Seasons in Hell with Billy Martin, Whitey Herzog, and the worst team in baseball history, the 73-75 Texas Rangers. That's way down on the list, but certainly sounds interesting. Okay? But we want to figure out the Ranger stuff too. So Bronx is burning, 77 baseball politics in the battle for a soul of a city. I also want to figure out the Chicago White Sox with the Black Sox stuff. That'd be fun. Mike Hargrove and the Cleveland Indians, a baseball life, seem mostly boring, but we need as much Indian stuff as we can get. That's not too far away. This is the one I really, really wanted to get. I can't believe I had to put this one on the back burner. Terror in the City of Champions. Murder, baseball, and the secret society that shocked Depression-era Detroit. Holy hell, right? The Making of Major League, just a bit inside look at the classic baseball comedy. More Indian stuff, of course. Okay. The 1919 World Series and birth of modern baseball. Isn't that very interesting? The year after our Red Sox were cursed, all of baseball was basically revolutionized. We got the voice of Dodger baseball, Vin Scully. A Game of Inches, the stories behind the innovations that shape baseball. That's certainly like some required reading. Not certainly the most engaging book, I'd imagine. This one I definitely want to pick up too. The Presidents in the Pastime, the history of baseball in the White House. You know we want to figure out how Trump connects to the Guardians, right, and the Dodgers. So, let's see. The Price, what it takes to win in college football's era of chaos. Meh. I figure it might let us know a little bit about what we need to look for in college football. 1968, the year that saved Ohio State football. Of course, we snagged that. You can see it was significantly more points than any of the others. Coach gets points at work. So, that's how I got all the other books too. English Monsters, the 1985 Chicago Bears, and the Wild Heart of Football. Why do we care about the 85 Bears? That's when the curse started. Of course, we know we're looking for cheerleaders to come around to help us out. We'd like to know when to start looking for cheerleaders and say we predicted the fucking cheerleaders. So there you go. Alrighty. The game, the Michigan Ohio State rivalry. Of course, I would like to grab that too, but no. Payroll to Meet, Story of Greed, Corruption, and Football at SMU. America's Game, the epic story of how pro football captured a nation. The Pony Trap, once again, 1987, SMU football death penalty. I wonder what Southern Methodist is doing these days. Hope they don't have some crazy team they're cooking up we got to worry about. Because those 87s have definitely been popping up. That's the Hoosiers last year. That would mean SMU would be on like next year, if anything, I would imagine. Tribal, college football in the secret heart of America. I thought that one sounded interesting too. Vintage Cavs, a warm look back at the Cavaliers of the Cleveland Arena and Richfield Coliseum years. Loose Balls, the short wild life of the American Basketball Association. The Bad Guys Won, a season of boozing, bimbo chasing, and championship baseball with straw. Doc, Mookie Nails, The Kid, and someone else. There's also a book on the 1986 Red Sox I want. There's also a couple soccer books I want about, like, dictators abusing the game, etc. So you get it. Coach is not settling. He's definitely not just eating that fucking Ohio State loss. Although, is it one we can accept? I mean, yeah, we just got our fucking feet wet, right? This is our first matchup all year. We're going against a juggernaut like Ohio State, and coach is immediately giving you reasons like, oh shit, we should really watch out for this team. They might have been put here for a reason. They might be getting put over. That one loss on their record is kind of deceiving. They lost by 1 point on the road to number one, right? 1968 changed all of Ohio State football forever. Yeah, we're going to fucking take Ohio State this year. We'll wait on our Hoosiers in both sports.